Hi everyone, hope you watch this CoinsKid. Just going to dive into Bitcoin. Once again, thank you for your continued support across the channel here. Sharing is caring. Really do appreciate everything you do to contribute towards the growth of CoinsKid here. Thank you. Thank you for your support, the comments, the likes, shares, everything. So diving into Bitcoin right now, you can see it's performing beautifully, okay? The impulsive waves are starting to get a little bit extinguished, which shows a sort of, not necessarily a weakening trend. It just shows that you may sort of start to consolidate when you get up to this particular price prediction right here, because you are starting to look a little bit overextended on the 4-hourly EMAs right here as well. So I would imagine that this price prediction right here, you'd potentially hit it and roll back. And I think that, you know, just from looking at this chart, just like that, you can see where potentially you could roll back to. In this particular impulsive wave there, you come up, corrective wave, okay, and this impulsive wave there, what did you do? You rolled, and where did you find support? On the previous swing high. So effectively, if you do start to hit your head on this price prediction just here of 60k, 60,210, you start to see it hit there, resistance, do look for a particular rollback, and it would hopefully land on there and not any deeper than that, because that would show a really nice leg up and a sort of a little bit of slowing down for Bitcoin before continuation. It is good, but you can see each impulsive wave is starting to get a little bit smaller than the last, and that is always indicative of sort of it necessarily not running out of steam, but it just coming to a bit of a standstill, okay, and consolidating a bit in this range, and that would be healthy. It would allow the EMAs to catch up to you, because like I said to you, if you start to take off now and go up here and get any further up to that 63k, you're dragging the EMAs vertical, and that's when you roll, you lose them, and you can fall through them, and you can fall back into this pattern, invalidating this, and potentially coming further. Okay, so you don't want to see that. You want it nicely go up, back test, back test, back test, back test. These EMAs especially, adhering to them as well constantly, and in continuation basically. So right now you can see, you know, the EMAs are looking a little bit of a gap there, and that in itself, without doing any technical analysis in my book, is always indicative of a rollback. Because look, just here, just look to the left, when you see the extended EMAs, when they get a bit of too much of a gap, I mean, that's how much of a gap you can actually get on them, but when you start forming a bit of a gap there and you start to lose the support, you can see the roll, okay, you can see it needs to roll, because you just want to backtest it. Lovely. So this is why I think that this particular wave, you might see it slow down a little bit for Bitcoin, because it's starting to get a little bit ahead of itself, and when it's going to come back, it may potentially lose support. So that's just a little update on Bitcoin right there. So I do think you're going to get to that price prediction, because you've broken this high, okay, and that's always indicative. It's a big tick to the next impulsive wave actually continuing and being fruitful. So like I said to you, once you get to 60k, do expect a little bit of a rollback, hold support of this 58k. At that point, I would imagine, you know, you're sitting on a previous swing high, you're forming a swing low, and you may potentially see this yellow line creep up and get that little kiss off it, get this little bit tighter for continuation up to our price prediction there of 63k, and that hopefully comes by, you know, sort of midweek to the end of the week here. Get up to that price prediction, because once we're there, the EMAs will start to look beautiful, and I could see continuation and actually break that high right there. Because again, I'm always going to be truthful with you, okay? You are still in this not necessarily downtrend, you're in an uptrend, but you're in a pattern. You're in a pattern basically, and the pattern is down here at 43k. So the only way to invalidate that obviously is get back into this wedge sort of pattern and break this high. The most important thing, break this high, because whilst you're still in this pattern, the pattern that's in play until invalidated away. And at any point, if you start to get overextended, that's a big signal that you could look at a correction. So you don't want to get overextended. You want it to nicely, gradually go up nice and gradually, beautifully, organically, get to these price predictions here. So that's Bitcoin. It's looking good. It's looking good, and our price prediction yesterday of around 8% is on its way. So once it does get to that particular price prediction, then I can look at the retracement for Bitcoin. If it starts to retrace and doesn't lose the swing high, because don't forget, if you start to lose that swing high, you may start forming that reversal wave and start looking to lose the EMAs. And this is why it's important that you do go up gradually, because if you don't, you lose support when you come back down, and that anyone can see that. You know, look, for example, here you go up too parabolically, you lose support, and it's a reversal. We don't want that, because if you start getting a reversal at this point here, you're coming back into this inverse head and shoulders and effectively invalidating this higher high there, which is going to tackle this high. So always going to be truthful with you, okay? Hopefully here we've bottomed out as well. Hopefully we have bottomed out at this particular level. That's what I'm hoping for. But again, full transparency, you have got this potential large A, B, C correction down to 43k. Now there's also one other thing I want to tell you, okay? When others are greedy, be fearful. when others are fearful, be greedy. A lot of people think that this is, we're in a bull market. Bitcoin's going to go full bull mode right now. Okay, and it's showing great signals that it's bottomed out and stuff like that, and it's golden, it's making continuation. But one thing, it's running out of steam a little bit. You're looking at the next impulsive wave running out of steam there. If it starts to correct and reverse, that could be your big signal and the big tick that you are going to come back down, lose this as support, and potentially test this particular price target down here, 43k, which is not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing, and I've shown you why it's not a bad thing in multiple Bitcoin videos, that it's the target out of the rising wedge. It's multi-year Fibonacci extension support, which you've only tested once, just there, when you broke it. This particular level here, that's the 1414 extension on the weekly time frame. That's our price prediction from years ago, basically. And you come up, hit your head, falling back to its support. If you do start to lose, you could see it being back tested support again, because this particular level here, this theoretically, this should have come down to this particular level right there. In my book, it should have come back down to that level to test the support, because it would have double confirmation of support is better than one, in my opinion. But right now, I want to reassure you that it is looking good and it's looking for continuation. But you've always got to have in your mind, when others are greedy, be fearful. And right now, there's a lot of greed in the market, in my opinion, a hell of a lot of greed. I want continuation, but sometimes those sort of general senses of being greed in the market is always indicative of a reversal. Just like when there's pure fear in a market, that's always indicative of a reversal to the upside as well. So basic market psychology. So do keep an eye on this particular impulsive wave that's forming right now up to this high, because if it does break through it and smashes through it and gets on, brilliant. The bulls are back in control, which they are in control anyway, and we're going to march on. We're going to blast that, and we're going to blast that high, and we're going to get up to that 200k, because I can tell you right now, if you do start to go on and break through that and back to support, break through that, back to support, and break that high right there, you could be looking at this for Bitcoin. And I will lay this price prediction right down for you from there to there to the top. So you could be looking at a whopping appreciation and a Bitcoin price of around 79k for Bitcoin, roughly around that area. I think it was about 78k. 79k, it's off that bottom, isn't it? That's it, yeah. So yeah, you could be looking at a lovely price prediction there of Bitcoin off this bottom and this impulsive wave up, continuation, break these highs, get through all these levels here. You could be looking at a 78k Bitcoin by the end of this month, basically, which would be lovely, wouldn't it, for continuation. So yeah, big thumbs up to everybody. Stay strong, stay healthy, most importantly stay tuned, and hopefully we just keep marching on right now. But I've made you aware of all outcomes and possibilities in Bitcoin here. Take care, everybody. And obviously when we get to that price there and we start to roll, if we do get to that price and we start to form the next corrective retracement wave, that's when I'll lay down that next price prediction right there for Bitcoin. But so far so good. We're in a bull market. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.